look it up to the board real quick. Do y'all remember what number we stopped at? It was
14.
11. Oh, we made it to 14. Wow. Okay. Well, because my goal was 18, but you know, I think it was 14. But then the storm came. So let me put this up here.
We probably would have made it further. Because we only were down there for.
I know, yeah. I think we could have made it further than 18. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay. Let me let that come up there. And I'm just putting this down so I can write on it. All right. Here we go with number 14. Y'all stay quiet. I don't remember doing 14. I'm just going to start at it. Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm going to distribute. If the number is outside parentheses, we distribute it. So that means 5 times 10x, 50x. 5 times 10, 50. Okay, then I'll go to the other side and distribute. -5 times -4, 20x. -5 times 4, minus 20. And now I'm going to combine my x's. They are on opposite sides. Well, I can just Carolyn. So I'm going to move one to the other side. Do you want to move the 50 or the 20?
The 20.
I always like to move the smaller number, but it doesn't matter. I have to subtract it over. So I subtract it. And 20 minus 20 goes away. That's why we subtract it. 50x minus 20x is 30x. And then I'm bringing everything else down. Are we good with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Then what do I do?
You subtract or add the 50.
Add 50. To move it to the other side, you have to do the opposite. That says minus 50. The opposite is to add 50. So that cancels out. I get 30x equals 30. Then what? Divide by 30. And what's 30 divided by 30? 1. There we go. X equals 1. Okay, how's that one? Doable? We can handle this? Easy.
That one was.
What? Okay, let me get the charger out. I also took those home in case, you know, someone decided to hide my chargers.
You took all that stuff home?
I took several things home, but not all of it. I took my computers home.
They didn't go on your computer like how Shay did.
I took my computers home. Both of them. Okay. Let me see what we've got next. I think I'm going to write these on paper instead. That's a little bit easier for me. I'll erase that in just a second. Okay. Number 15. This one we have to solve an equation for a variable. All right, so on number 15, I have z minus m equals z plus bx. And they want me to solve for what letter? They tell me for x, okay? That means we're trying to get the x by itself. Where is it? It's over here. So what two letters are over there with it? Z and B. So I'm going to move them both to the other side. So I'm going to start with minus z, because that would make that go away, right? So then what do I have to do on this side? Minus z. And since I see it matches that one, let me write it with it. What is z minus z? 0. Again, that one cancels out. So what do I bring down? I have a negative m. Does everybody see negative m? And then bx. Is there still something with the x? Yes, the b is. So it's being multiplied. So what's the opposite of multiplying? Divide by b. Negative m divided by b. And that is answer choice C. So that one was number 15. Now we're at 16. This will get us, what, halfway there. X minus 8 over 5 equals 2 over 4. So on this one, we cross multiply, okay? So that means I'm going to take 4 times all of that. So what is 4 times x? 4x. And then what's 4 times 8? 32. Does everybody understand that? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
All right, so we're cross multiplying. And then on the other side, I multiply these across from each other. 5 times 2 is 10. So when you have 2 fractions set up like that, you cross multiply. Then what do? This looks like our other equations. I would add 32. You have to do the opposite. So those cancel out to 0. I bring down 4x equals 42. Then what? Divide by 4. And what's 42 divided by 4?
6.
It looks like it's going to be a fraction. It looks like it's going to be 21 over 2. Do y'all see that answer choice? Maybe?
C.
Yeah, it's C. Okay, if you got a decimal on your calculator, just press math enter.
It was 21 over 2.
Huh?
It means I'm on the test.
Let's see, probably maybe 25. I haven't.
21 over 2.
It was 21 over 2, yeah. But if you got a decimal, because some of you may have done 42 divided by 4, it gave you a decimal. Then you just press math enter if you have a graphing calculator, and it's going to tell you.
What was that, 15?
Huh?
What was 15?
15 was negative, it was x equals negative m over b. That was, what answer choice was that? C? Yeah. And this one was also C. All right, are we ready to keep going? I'm going to put 17 up here because it's easier to look at the graph. So on 17, the number that we're looking at is negative 8. Are we equal to negative 8? No, we're not, because it's an open circle. So I know that it's not going to be this one. It's not equal to negative 8. Now what are we? And it's not this one because that's not even a negative 8. Probably, I don't know, there's several. Okay, so are we less than negative 8 or are we going to numbers greater than negative 8? Greater. Negative 6, negative 4, negative 2, 0, 2, all those are greater than negative 8. So that's why it's answer choice C. Is everybody okay with that? X is greater than negative 8. Yes, no, yes. Okay, let's look at 18. On 18, it says x minus 3. So what's over there with the x? A minus 3. So the opposite of subtracting 3 is to what? Add 3. So if I add 3, I get x is less than or equal to what? Negative 9. So now I have to graph this one. So what number do I go to? I'm going to go to negative 9. Does everybody see it's right here? And why do I put a closed circle? Because it's equal to. And then what numbers are less than that? I'm going to color that way.
That way.
Yeah, all these numbers are less than negative 9 to the left. So I'm going to go that way. That's what your graph would look like.
So that's a lesson inside. I keep getting confused.
Yes. They learn different ways to know that. Like the bigger side eats the.
That's
the alligator eats the bigger number.
But it don't work like that.
Huh?
It don't work like that.
Yeah. On this one, not really. That's kind of weird. You'll just have to know less than, and you'll have to know greater than.
That's why I always get confused.
Yeah. Well, you can see that this side's smaller, so x is less than. What in the world? There we go. This side is the smaller part, so x is less than. If it was on the other side like this, that would be x is greater. Because see how it's on the wider part? That would be x is greater than. That would be x is less than. Does that make sense maybe?
Oh, it does.
Okay, I don't know. That's just going to be straight memorization. Okay.
Hey, is
Then,
national?
Number 19. All right, on this one, how do we solve for x? What number's over here with the x? The negative 4. Instead of dividing by negative 4, we are going to multiply both sides by negative 4. Multiplying by negative 4. What happens if you multiply by a negative? You have to change that sign, that symbol. Oh, thank you. So over here I get x, flip that to greater than or equal to, and what's 2 times negative 4? Negative 8. So look at that for a second and make sure that you understand. Do we understand that? I multiply by negative 4. Since I multiplied by negative, I flipped my sign. Now, we're going to graph it. So we go to negative 8 on the number line. And do I do an open or a closed circle? What's that going to be? Open or closed? Why?
Because it has an equal.
You're right. There is a reason, yes. And you were right. It's a closed circle because it's equal to. If it's got that line right there, you're going to close that circle. Okay, and what numbers are bigger than negative 8? How about like 10 and 12 and 8? So I'm going to go towards those. I'm going that way. So that's my answer for that one.
Is our final Tuesday?
Your final is Tuesday, but on Monday, you are either going to be, you're studying for your, like you'll come here second hour and you'll study for your third hour, or you'll study for mine, but I'm not like re-going over it. Y'all can watch the video because we were finishing up today. Because I'm giving a bunch of finals Monday, so that's what I'll be dealing with.
Does anybody know what we're doing for Jared's?
Probably nothing, man.
Okay.
No, y'all probably gonna write like a little essay for him.
So-
Essay's gonna be somewhere.
So number 20, I get, let's see, I'll write it right here. Number 20, I have 4x plus 6 is, less than negative 6. So what do I move first? What's over there with my x? I've got, yeah, I have a 4 and a 6, and we move the 6 first. Y'all should see this pattern. We do the opposite. We subtract 6. So I get 4x is less than, nope, what's negative 6 minus 6? Negative 12. Then what do I do to solve for x?
You divide by 4.
Divide by 4. So I get x is less than negative 3. And my sign does not flip or change because I didn't divide by a negative, okay? 4 was positive, so it stays like that. All right. Moving along. Well, do y'all need a second? Sorry.
Just Amanda, when you said all right, you sounded exactly like Taylor Swift. Like on point, exactly like how she did.
I did not.
Sounded just
Really?
like her.
Is Taylor Swift dead?
If only I could sing like her.
I have rock my
Yeah,
boots.
me
You had a rocking group.
I have rock my
Okay,
boots, but-
number 21. And if only I could get some tickets to see her, that'd be good too. Okay.
I mean, they're not that expensive. They're like $1,000.
I mean, yeah, like, so if you have a couple people go, I mean, it's only an arm or a leg. Okay. This one's weird because you have 2 inequalities. So we're really solving 2 things at one time. Do y'all see that? Now, I could split it up, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to solve it all together. So remember, what we do to one side, we must do to the other. Y'all listen, stay with me. In this case, I not only have one side, but I have several sides. So I'm going to move, what do I move first with this x?
4.
The minus 4. How do I move minus 4?
Add.
You add 4. What you do to one side, you do to the other, and in this case,
Both.
the other over here. Does everybody see that? Like we have 2 things going on at one time. So that cancels out. What's negative 2 plus 4?
2.
2. And over here I get a 2x. And then over here I get a 12. So look at that and make sure you understand. Does everybody understand where those numbers came from? Yes? Okay. What's with my x now? A 2. There's still a 2 with my x. So how do I move that one? Yep, you divide. And again, in this case, I've got several things going on, so I've got to divide everything by 2. Well, what's 2 divided by 2? 1. And what's, again, 2 divided by 2? is 1x. And then what's 12 divided by 2? 6. So do y'all see the answer choice where x is between the 1 and the 6? Yeah. All right. I'll move this out in just a second. And you can see their graph. X is between 1 and 6. Why did they use a closed circle on 1? Because it's equal. Why did they use an open circle on the 6? It's not equal. Okay, and I'll move it in case anybody needed to write that back down. I mean, I don't know if that made sense what I just said. We're going pretty quick? Y'all, if I'm going too fast, oh, yeah, so you're into a C. Y'all tell me. Okay?
Who farted?
Okay, on this one, when we graph, I'm going to go up to the board and graph it. What's our starting number? Our starting number is, what does that say? -2. Does everybody see -2? So I'm going to go down 2. Does everybody see that that's the -2? Right there. Yes? Then I use my slope, which is rise over run. What's my slope? It's right here. What is the slope? 3. That means I go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Over 1 because it wasn't over any other number. Then can I draw a line through them? Yes. There we go. That's my line. Okay, yes.
You late? No, I'm not. What's that graduation?
Huh?
If you can the girl that was graduating.
Yes, just know that this is the study guide day. But I am recording. So if you've missed anything, y'all can get it on the YouTube thing. Because on Monday, y'all will have finals first and third hour, and then second hour you're just studying. But yeah, y'all can get it for children. Okay, that's that one. All right, number 23. On 23, it says you have continuous or discrete. Okay, y'all, if you have something that you can buy by the pound or you can buy pieces of it, that's continuous. Like I can buy a half a pound of potatoes, right? I can buy 3.25 pounds of something, right? But can you buy a half of a CD or a DVD, whatever, what is this, a DVD? Can you buy half of that? No. So that is discrete. Can you have half a person? No. That is discrete. If you're talking about people or items like this, then it's discrete. If you're talking about, so does everybody understand the difference? But if you're talking about where you can buy parts or pieces, okay? But you can't.
Like literally half people.
Am I wrong?
But you don't
Waist
call, they're
down
still a
is nothing.
person. They're still a person. They are
She's
still,
only half there.
But they're half.
they're still a, no, it is not. It is still a person. Okay. So this one, DVDs, it's discrete. So which one looks like DVDs sell for $11 each? It is D. $11 per CD, and that's discrete. Okay? So 23 is D. Are we good with that one? All right. Then number 24. A lot of people forgot about this one. I know it's been a while, but it's not bad. If you remember absolute value, so say that we have a graph and it looks like a straight line, like this, right? If you have absolute value, all these negative numbers would what? Become positive. So it looks like a V. Okay, so normally, this is not my answer. I'm going to write my answer in a second. Normally, an absolute value looks like this right here. See how it just goes through every square? We'll go a step further in algebra 2. But now, what does this -1 do to this graph? The -1 takes it where? Down 1. So I'm going to start right here, and the red one is actually my answer. Okay? So y'all would have to remember that. I'm going to erase this for you. So it's just, and it goes through every corner. You'll just remember it's a V when you have this absolute value right here. It's going to be a V, and then that -1 takes you down 1. All right, are we good with that somewhat? Yeah? Kind of remember it? It's been a while. If y'all are doing good with this stuff, which we don't do algebra 2 next year, you'll be better prepared for algebra 2. Algebra 2 is very tough. Geometry is a little break from algebra. That's what y'all have next.
Isn't geometry easy?
It depends on who you ask.
Zane.
This is
If they're good at algebra, if you were really good at algebra, you may not be good at geometry.
I'm gonna be good at geometry then.
Okay? All right. Number 25. It says identify the domain and the range. So all you're doing is you're listing. This is how I write mine. I like to write them in a little set. I'm identifying my domain and my range. My domain, what are all my x values? Y'all read them to me.
Wait.
What?
-4.
-9, -4. This is my x values, the domain. 3 and 9. All right, y'all list me on my range, on my y values. 2. And that's pretty much it. That's all you do. You just, it just says you have to know domain is your first number, your x. The range is your second number, the y. Okay?
You have to do it in this little bracket.
Even if you don't do it in brackets, that's fine. As long as I can tell, you list your domain, you list your range. That's what I need. This is how they would write the answer. Okay?
Teaching.
Teaching with flair.
She's right.
So
Flair?
they're flare pens.
Oh, I think somebody like that.
Oh, those
Mhm.
fancy little pins.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Number 26. All they want is the slope. So you just pick 2 points. On a corner, remember that's key. That'll be exact answer. So this one is on a corner. Where's another one? It looks like right here. So then all we have to know is how far up and how far over we go. How far up do I go? 1. And then how far over am I going to go? 1, 2, 3, 4. What if I had gone down? What kind of slope would it have been?
Negative.
Negative. But I didn't. This one's just a positive 1, 4. Oh, do they have answer choices? Sorry, I didn't know
What's the
that.
matter here?
Huh?
Yeah, good thing. I said the only pen that I know, the color of the pen I know is red.
Oh. I may not have heard it, but don't worry, I'm recording.
Oh.
So if you said something you shouldn't have, it'd have been on there. Okay, number 27. Y'all, we did a whole packet on these. Remember, y'all hated it? We did it not long ago. On number 27, how do you find the slope? You subtract your y's, put those in the numerator, the top, and then you subtract your x's. You put those in the denominator, or the bottom. Okay, so Shay, if we subtract our y's, that's what you do first. What are the y's? How about 7 and 1? Shay, what is 7 minus 1?
7 minus 1? Oh, I think it's like 21. 6.
It is 6. Okay, now somebody else subtracts the x's in the same order. That's going to be
10 minus.
nope, in the same order.
1 minus 10 is -9.
1 minus 10, Shay, is -9. Does anybody not know why we got those two numbers? We know where we got those? And it does reduce to -2 over 3, which is
B.
B.
B. Like what?
B.
It's B, office.
Oh. You didn't say negative.
I said negative. It was a -9. Does anybody not understand how we got that? If you don't know how to reduce, you can put it in your calculator and it will reduce it for you.
Donald Trump.
He doesn't know how to reduce?
So I got a question. Oh, I do have a question.
Yeah,
Okay, so you got +6 but -9. So how come you get the whole deal today?
because even if you put that in your calculator, if you press calculator, it's going to tell you it's negative. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. The whole thing is negative.
Okay.
If the negative was up here, the whole thing is negative. If the negative is out here, the whole thing is negative.
Okay.
That's when it's positive. Okay? Or if it was like this, what's a negative divided by a negative? A positive. So somebody just showed me this. I had never seen this before. This was actually John that showed me this.
John? Who's John? Your boyfriend?
Okay. So it says that if you're multiplying or dividing, if you multiply a positive and a negative, your answer is a negative. If you multiply a negative and a negative, your answer is positive. Like no matter what, if you pick, it would, 2 of them. Anyway, I thought that was neat.
So it's like stuff that Dr. Brown would be giving us.
That was neat.
Yeah.
I've never seen that
Yeah.
before. Okay. This one, what's the slope and the y-intercept?
The slope is 0.9 over 1.
Yeah, the slope, I use the letter M. You don't have to. You could actually just write slope 1.9. Okay? This is how I would write it. And then what's my y-intercept? 2.5. Or if you wanted to do it like this, The y-intercept is 2.5. Does that make sense, y'all? That you just have to know that equation. Y equals mx plus b. Probably the easiest question on there.
I'm still here wrong
That's the number in front of your x is your slope. The other number is your y-intercept. Okay? Alright, moving along. 29.
There's hot guys from Home Depot.
What?
Hot guys from Home Depot. I'm choked over here.
On where? Okay, this one. Oh, this one's awful. I'm gonna have to take this one off because it's y'all. I'll take 29 off because it's very hard to tell because of the decimals and everything and how. If it was like counting by ones or even 0.5, it would be fine. That makes it really hard to tell, especially when I go to make copies. Okay, this one I do like though. How do you graph this?
-3 is the starting point.
Yeah, that's your y-intercept. So you go down to -3, you draw your point, and then where do you go?
I think I go up 4.
Up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. There you go. That's our line. Are we good? We just did one just like that. Okay?
That's it. It's only 9:18.
What?
It's only 9:18.
We know where I'm trying to get you out of these boys.
Hey, y'all shut
I'm
up.
about to tag y'all's mamas in this video.
Mommy Heather.
Please give him his eraser back because y'all are bothering me.
Stop choking me.
All right. We also had this on the packet, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. If you remember, let's say we want to find the y. We cover up the x and we get this. So when I solve for my y-intercept, what is it?
12 back.
I would divide by 2, and yes, you're right. Y is 12.
You said, what do you get when you?
Yeah, both of you were correct in your answers.
I was
Yeah,
correct.
but you do my
I didn't even hear you.
stuff
Now,
Oh,
if I'm
I'm
trying to
sorry.
find the x, what do I cover up?
first.
The y. So it says -4x equals 24.
It's -6.
And you would divide by -4. And x is -6. So which answer is that? A. That's answer A. Okay.
Apple.
All right. Can I erase this? Wait. Y'all. Shouldn't have let you get that water.
No, that was when he
Just
said
two
apple.
more.
Yes,
Look at us go. Okay.
Oh,
All right, y'all, hang in there and let me finish this video. Oh, this is not bad either. All right. Back to the absolute value. When the number is on the outside, I'm almost done. Just let me finish.
Do you have my study guide?
Probably not.
This whole time. I have not had my study guide this whole time.
You can have this one when I'm done. But were you not here the day of the study guide?
I don't think I was. You might not get it.
Okay, listen, let me finish. If the number is outside of the absolute value, it moves it up or down. If the number goes inside the absolute value with the x, it moves it left or right, okay? And it's always backwards. When it's with the x, it's backwards from what you think. So let's look at this one. What moves it up 6.5? Up 6.5.
Oh, you do plus sign. Yeah,
It's A. Remember, to move it up or down, it's the number out here. And it's exactly what you would think. Plus is going to move it up. Now on this one, it says 3 units to the left. So since you're moving left or right, it goes inside like one of these. And it's backwards from what you think. So if you're going to the left, it's going to be x plus 3.
Is she gonna be on the test?
I don't know, maybe.
Please,
Please no?
No, don't do this.
Why?
not the ones where
If
you
the
like
smart
left and
people
right.
can't do it, I can't do it.
Who that is?
My
Okay.
time hour back. Geez, y'all sniff cocaine?
Oh, that's not
That's
right.
what you do.
I ain't gotta respond to you.
What?
Say